Demon Slayer Mugen Train is honestly the peak of what Demon Slayer could be in terms of quality when it comes to this dumpster fire of a manga. How do I know this despite the movie only being in Japan? Well, it's cause I read the manga. Okay, so if you're watching this video, I've assumed that you've already seen all of Demon Slayer episodes 1 through 24, but if you haven't, you guys should definitely go and check out my Demon Slayer Minutes, which isn't the best one on YouTube, by the way. Shameless plug, but without further ado though, this is Demon Slayer Mugen Train in a nutshell. Okay, to start off the beginning of this train movie, we're gonna see Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all get onto the train. Also, let me not forget Nezuko, because I know if I do, I will be absolutely roasted harder than Rengoku was when he was first announced, and that's the last thing I want to happen. But then Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke are all walking on the train basically, and then Inosuke's being an idiot like usual, Zenitsu's being nervous over Nezuko, and then Tanjiro suddenly spots the flame Hashira Rengoku, the main star of this episode. And the main reason that it was really important for Tanjiro to find Rengoku in the first place was because he had questions about his fire powers that he used, and he really wanted to figure out how it worked, and in order to do that, he was going to ask the only person who actually uses flame breathing, and that was Rengoku, and it just so happened that they were both on the exact same train. Coincidence, right? I love the way that the plot plays into Tanjiro and giving him everything he needs exactly when he needs it, but, you know, it's a shonen. So Inosuke being an idiot like usual, right? He's scared of trains and he almost falls out of it, and Zenitsu grabs him, and then all of a sudden, he says, I want to run away. I don't know, just some stupid Inosuke banter like usual, and then Rengoku mentions, oh, you shouldn't do that. There's a demon on this train. And he mentions how about over 40 people have disappeared on this train, and that's the reason he's on here investigating in the first place. And like typical Zenitsu fashion, which I did miss over the past year when I stopped watching Demon Slayer, is that Zenitsu starts freaking out, bro. Like he's like, I'm gonna hop off this anyways, bro. And overall, it's a pretty good fresh of breath there, because we really haven't seen these characters in over a year, so it's still really good to see their little banter and how their little group dynamics still work after all this time. And it's just, you know, it still gives that old Demon Slayer feeling from when it first blew up in the series was still good. So to make a lot of exposition short, right, basically a random train conductor pulls up and he looks worried, but then Rengoku sends him like, hey, move, okay? And then there's this big demon that's just sitting on the train, and this leads us to believe that it is actually the main big demon of the movie, which in actuality is not. And so Rengoku says this cool line saying something about, oh, if you bury your fangs in innocent people, I will body you, okay? I will burn you, okay? It's a barbecue for real. I'm about that life, okay? And you know, Rengoku, he runs through that so-called main demon and one-shots it, and then afterwards everybody's hyping up their chair. Oh my god, big brother Rengoku, you know, seemingly believing that he defeated the main villain of the movie and within 5 to 10 minutes of it starting. And then boom, next thing you know, they're all asleep. And after this is where we're introduced to one of two of the main villains of the movie, and it turns out that that demon wasn't the big demon that was killing over 40 people over the past couple of months that Rengoku noticed. It was the train itself. This small, weak, frail looking demon you have on your screen right now, it was him, okay? He's literally the train demon. And along with him, right, he has all these little helpers or whatever that will help him, you know, body the demon slayers that are on the train, and he lets them know right now, hey yo, y'all need to be careful, because if y'all get too close, he might pull some ultra instinct and one-shot us if we're not careful. But more on that later. So the blood demon art that this demon has, right, it does more than put them to sleep, okay? It actually puts them into this infinite Tsukuyomi from Naruto type state, where they actually have dreams of their greatest desires, people they miss, people they love, and basically everything that will just make them happy as long as they're asleep. So Zenitsu has this dream about him and Nezuko getting married, having kids, blah blah blah, and Inosuke has this dream about cave exploring. For some reason Zenitsu and Tanjiro are ugly mole rats, and then Rengoku has this dream about his brother and his family, him motivating his brother right before he left off to be a Hashira for good. And then, who didn't expect this? Tanjiro has a dream about his dead family and that the fact that they're back to life, okay? And this is a pretty good part of it, honestly. It's pretty heartwarming that Tanjiro is crying in his sleep and in his dreams as he's seeing his dead family for the first time in a year at this point? Well, 2 years now, because there was a time skip, right? And so Tanjiro is really emotional in his dream that he's even crying, and the dream gives him this off feeling of everything about him becoming a demon slayer, his whole family being dead was all a dream. So it's almost his inverse reversing everything, so it makes like the Hashuras or anybody that was put to sleep believe that the whole time like they were actually like believing something that wasn't there, you know. And so after this, right, basically the way they have to kill people in their dreams is the fact that they have to like have the little helpers go inside the dream by tying themselves to the person that's asleep and breaking the core of their being, basically killing them, putting them into an infinite Tsukuyomi coma, bodying them for good, right? And so the first girl tries to go up and do it to Rengoku, and remember how I mentioned earlier how some demon slayers can like activate Ultra Instinct basically and kind of like move in their sleep? Well, Rengoku did it right as the girl was about to break his core, and he chokes her out. He choke slams her against the wall, bro. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the coolest scenes, bro. This is better than Ultra Instinct if we're being honest. But furthermore, Tanjiro is the first person to break out of his dream, partly due to the fact that he starts realizing that he's actually in a dream, and Nezuko actually realizes it too and wakes him up by setting him on fire with her demon blood, making it easier for Tanjiro to break out. But Rengoku is still choking out that girl. It's kind of hilarious that this whole time he's just like choking her out. But yeah, he isn't able to break out of the dream. He's just basically keeping her like preoccupied so she can't kill him. It's just like an automatic sense. Like he doesn't know that he's doing it, but his body is just that naturally trained that he's able to do that. But Tanjiro is the first person to wake up due to Nezuko helping him out, and he basically has to kill himself within his dream in order to wake up. And so since he's the first person to wake up, him and Nezuko both work together in order to like save Zenitsu, Tanjiro, and Rengoku. Even though all in their dreams they're able to like stop like the little demon helpers or whatever that came to destroy their core, albeit in their own funny and hilarious ways. But due to the fact it's not relevant, I'm not gonna cover it. But just know that they protected themselves. So Tanjiro, since he's the first one awake, right, he goes straight up to go and confront the main trained demon or whatever, and he's pissed, okay? It's for obvious reasons, bro. The demon made him see his dead family and leave his dead family for the second time, almost like a second death of the family. Tanjiro's mad. He's pulling out all these 10th forms, trying to pull up and like run through the demon. He cuts off his head, and then he realizes the truth, and it's the fact that the demon merged with the train while everybody was asleep. So if you want to beat the demon, you gotta beat the train. So Inosuke pops out, and he immediately just figures out the situation because Tanjiro tells him or whatever, and then he just starts tearing up the train, bro, almost like instinct, bro. I can respect Inosuke's like pure animal instincts here, and it's cool to see him get his own little shine, even though this is mostly a Tanjiro and Rengoku sort of movie. So afterwards, the demon realizes that he's just gonna have to start killing everybody, okay? Like, so he makes these like weird little muscular growths come out of everybody's necks in order to like kill them and finish them off or whatever. And thankfully Nezuko is right there because she's able to like stop them or slow them down a little bit, but she's also getting overwhelmed herself. And this is where we get the cool Zenitsu moment, right? Because he wakes up and does his first breathing form, and he one-shots all of those things. Cool as hell, bro. And he says, "I will protect you, Nezuko." And that goes back on further to that ultra instinct sort of thing that they have because their bodies are so well trained, bro. And it's cool to see that like Zenitsu's kind of the first one out the squad to be able to do it like that. And so shortly after this, right, they're still trying to fight the train and figure out how to defeat him. And then Rengoku wakes up, bro. And I don't know, it's cool to like throughout this movie we're getting this cool emotional connection for him, and it's almost like he's this big brother that's always been there, but he hasn't been there for like the past 24 other episodes except this movie. So now with everybody awake, right, we can pretty much cut all the transitional of this fight in. It's basically everybody figures out that like the train is like his physical body, and the fact that you actually has like body parts, like for certain parts you'll see like a skull. And so they basically go up to the front of the train because that's where the head is, and they all combine their attacks in order to do this huge like Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu combo, and they all combine attacks in order to cut the demon for good. And so the train demon dies, and that's basically the end of the movie, and I'll see you pizza people later. Peace. But for real though, the demon dies, and he's angry that we're in Goku, and he's angry that he was weak, right? And so we really think it's the end of the movie, but we're really not out the neck of the woods just yet. But just before we get into that part, right, I just want to say that we get this like cool little moment between like Rengoku and like Tanjiro, where it further goes into the fact that he's basically like this like older brother figure towards him. He's like, "Hey, you can do all this with your breathing. I'll train you. I got you." Like it's really cool, bro. I really like this character. So to interrupt all that love and good moments after they just defeat this train demon after working so hard, Rengoku's basically not injured, but then a high upper level moon pulls up to the spot. And he immediately tries to finish off Tanjiro and tries to recruit Rengoku into the upper level demon, saying that he could be probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest demon. And Rengoku automatically says no because, you know, he's a hero, bro. This is our older brother figure. We love this dude. He can't go out like this. So Rengoku and the upper moon level 3 demon, they share some banter about, oh, I want to become a demon, I want you to be a demon, blah, blah, blah. Rengoku just says no, okay? The beauty to life is dying. One of the coolest anime character quotes I can truly say I love. And so they start fighting, right? And Rengoku is going all out against this dude. And this demon is also going all out against Rengoku, bro. It's honestly a clash of gods right here, bro. This is one of the best fights. And honestly, this is the best fight in Demon Slayer. And so this all goes on for a little while, right, with Tanjiro just struggling and wanting to help. And let's be honest, bro, since the demon can have regen abilities, it's kind of unfair, right, because Rengoku's doing all this damage on him. He's doing all this damage on Rengoku, but Rengoku's the only one having lasting effects from it all. And Inosuke is on the sidelines wanting to help, bro, but because they're so strong and so fast, he can't find an opening to hop in and help at all, right? But sadly, the fight is coming to a close, and Rengoku and this demon both do this huge, like, clash attack, okay, bro? Rengoku does his 9th form, the demon does his blood demon art, and then we sadly get the flashbacks for Rengoku, okay? And we see that he's actually doing this for his mother, and how happy he was to become a Demon Slayer, because he's, you know, that's who he's doing it for at the end of the day. He has somebody he wants to protect. He has a family that he loves and cares for. And then after this, right, we see this huge explosion, and then we finally see, like, the dust is starting to clear, and we see the fact that the demon has his hand through Rengoku's stomach, right? But earlier in the battle that I didn't mention, Rengoku says he won't let anyone die here, right? So instead of just folding from having his, like, guts punched through, right, he takes his sword and he slices on the upper moon level demon's throat, even though he's about to die himself. And he's basically holding this demon here as he's trying to slice through him, refusing to let go. And then all of a sudden, Tanjiro finds the strength and Inosuke find an opening in order to cut through and help the blade get as deep as it can within this demon. And honestly, a round of applause for Rengoku's resolve to not fold until he got a good amount of damage in order to save everyone on that battlefield, because he completed his goal. Okay, because the upper moon level demon retreats because he realizes he's been bodied and he can't fight anymore, and sadly Rengoku falls. Tanjiro tries to chase the upper moon level demon down. He's hurt because he knows that Rengoku's about to die after this battle. He screams some lines such as, Rengoku was the strongest of all, he protected us, he was way stronger than you, and he actually won this battle, bro. Honestly, really putting a great end to this movie, okay? Because afterwards, we get some final parting words that Rengoku says to Tanjiro and the crew, basically telling Tanjiro to go to his house and talk to his family about how the fire and flame breathing works, to figure out what he really wanted to know from Rengoku that he sadly can't teach him because he's dead now. And then it ends with Rengoku seeing the vision of his mother asking if he was a good demon slayer, and she says, "You did splendidly." Tanjiro sad, Zenitsu sad, even Inosuke is sad, okay? And all the Demon Slayers get word of his death, we see their reactions, and honestly, that was the end of the movie, bro. This has been Demon Slayer Mugen Train, okay? Now, I know it's a lot to unpack, but this is honestly one of the best and the last good arc of Demon Slayer, in my opinion. This is where the series really peaks, and I suggest you guys all go watch it. Don't just watch my video, okay? Support the official release. It's a pretty good series at some points. But until next time, pizza people, I'm just a pizza that talks about anime and manga all day. And so, without further ado, my name is Time Pizza, and thank you for coming. We move!